Good morning and welcome to Vlogmas Day 7. And as you can tell, this is a very unusual, or you cannot tell, but this is a very unusual day. I've just woken up. You can see from my face, I've just woken up and I want to go. It's 10-ish. It's 10 there at first 10:15. I want to go make a very heavy breakfast, although I should call it lunch because I'm hungry like that, as you will see. But before I do that, I want to film something for Vlogmas Day 6. In Vlogmas Day 6, everything was going on well until I received a phone call. You remember me sharing earlier about things that annoy us? Yeah, so I received a phone call. It was not a bad news phone call. It was the type of phone call that left me feeling that I'm the worst human on earth, and perhaps I just need deliverance. Not like they didn't deliver something. It just left me feeling like the worst human on earth. So as such, it spoiled my whole day. Really, it's okay. It didn't spoil my whole day. It's as a way of bringing myself back to good morals or good moods. I did so many things, or I did some things that I was not supposed to do, which in short, I spent my time unwisely. And by the end of day 6, I did film the Bible study, but I did not film what I was supposed to film. So that's it. But this is Vlogmas Day 7. If you've watched Vlogmas Day 6, you've seen part of what you're going to see now is what you will have seen in Vlogmas Day 6. So I filmed that intro during day 7. However, you've seen it in day 6. So if you've watched day 6, this is not confusing. If you haven't, watch it so that you're not confused. So in about 10 seconds, I am now about to film the intro to Vlogmas Day 6, and you're going to see me filming it. So the places that I'm going to pause, those are the places that it's actually for me to know, to make my work easier during editing. So I'll say, and then I woke up, and then I woke up as so. You will hear that pause. So for me during editing, I will know in that pause, this is where I'm supposed to be putting in the clip, either of me waking up, which as you've seen in Vlogmas Day 6, you've seen this is just an example, I don't film myself waking up. And I did Bible study as so. And then in that pause, you will see me having the Bible study. So this is for me during the editing. So in case, for those of us watching Vlogmas Day 7, if you see me pausing, it's to make my work easier for editing and to put in clips of what I did, or put in clips of what I did, as you have seen in Vlogmas Day 6. After that, I'll cook breakfast. So you are going to spend a very lazy morning with me. So there is nothing much I'm going to be doing today. Yes, so you're going to just spend a lazy day with me. For those of you who are watching in Vlogmas Day 7, this is just spend a lazy day with me. But right now, let me do the intro for Vlogmas Day 6. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. It is funny how sometimes you can plan your day and then it unfolds very differently. There is a saying that people like, which I really don't like, that says, man plans and God laughs. I don't like that saying because it presents God as someone who is just out there waiting to laugh at man. But normally, what that saying means is we have our own plans, but God also has his own plans. But in Swahili tunasemanga, mipango si matumizi. So what you plan to do is not necessarily how you will eventually end up doing it. And for me, in this Vlogmas Day 6, that is exactly what happened. I had my day well planned out. This is what I was going to do, and then this and this and this and this. This, I'm not so sure if this was supposed to be part of it or not. Actually, I was supposed to do something similar to this, but not this way and not even in the day I'm doing it. You'll have to watch Vlogmas Day 7, which sounds weird, for you to understand. So those of us watching Vlogmas Day 6 and you're wondering, what's up? Why is she telling us to watch for something of tomorrow? Is she from the future? Please, girl, time travel is not real. So, tafadhali no. But watch Vlogmas Day 7 to understand what I mean. I received a phone call that left me feeling not sad, but bad. It kept me in a low moods, and as a result, I ended up doing some activities that consumed a lot of my time, and those activities I was doing them so that niregeshe morale, so that I put myself in good moods, which accumulated most over time. So enough of that. So let's see how exactly did this Vlogmas Day 6 go on. Number one, I did wake up and I studied the Bible as so. Number two, I listened to Vlogmas Day 5, and I normally do this to ensure that the video rolls out without any hitches. Yes, and I listened to Vlogmas Day 5 as so. 1 and 2, it was part of the plan. Even number 3, it was part of the plan. That is, I ate a very heavy brunch as so. Number 4, the phone call happened, which I did not plan and left me in bad moods. However, I did not film this because I was not anticipating that phone call, so that was not filmed. Number 5, I went ahead and started looking for novels, soft copy novels on dark romance, because I'm supposed to start reading dark romance for the booktube channel. This was not, I was not supposed to do this today. However, I did it, and as you're going to see, you will not see it, but it took a lot of my time, and this was not part of the plan, and it accumulated. So it took quite some time. It ate a large part of my day, and when you're watching it, you'll not see it because I've condensed it. But as I was leaving it out, looking for those dark romances, because again, I don't read explicit content. I read closed door novels. So looking for them, going to Goodreads, going to Google to research takes a lot of time. You will not see it on your end, but on my end, it took a lot of time. And this is me looking for the researching on the books that I'm supposed to read on dark romance as so. Oh, number 6, something that I forgot. I did this even before the phone call. However, this was supposed to be part of the plan. Even you too, I don't know, maybe because the phone call disrupt and all that, it interfered with my thought process, so I even forgot. But however, I read a novel which was supposed to be part of the plan. However, it will have unfolded differently from the way it is unfolding now. Again, in short, I read a novel, although before the phone call, and this is me reading the novel. And by now, we are what you're going to see happen during the night. This was also part of the plan. However, it was not supposed to happen at night. I was supposed to read a novel during the day, kidogo, and also then you see me watching a movie again during the day. Even to none of this was supposed to go up to in the evening. However, it went up to the evening, and this is me watching different types of things. I watched Kenyan YouTube series, I watched Nigerian movies, and I watched up to very, 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 very late, which interfered with also how Vlogmas Day 7 came about as so. Thank you so much for those of us in Vlogmas Day 6. If you're wondering what does she mean for those of us in Vlogmas Day 6, make sure you tune in tomorrow to watch Vlogmas Day 7 for you to understand. But for those of us watching in Vlogmas Day 6, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you found the video entertaining and educative in any way possible. And I encourage you to read the book of Luke. This is Vlogmas Day 6. So read the book of Luke chapter 6 and share with us what lessons you have learned. And you can also share it with someone you know physically on the lessons you've learned, or you can even read any other book of the Bible. In short, as you're celebrating Christmas and in the festive mood, let us not forget to spend time with God, because Jesus is the reason for this season. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll be seeing you in Vlogmas Day 7. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to get a fuller understanding of what is happening. See you then. God willing, but see you then. And we are back to those of us in Vlogmas Day 7. We are back. If you're confused, kindly watch Vlogmas Day 6 to get a fuller understanding on what is happening. Again, as I just ended with Vlogmas Day 6, make sure you read the Bible, not just Luke chapter 6, but any other book that you choose, so that even as we celebrate, let us celebrate. Let us not focus on shere until we forget why we are celebrating. Take some time, spend time with Jesus, and also spend time with your loved ones. And that way we celebrate without forgetting why we are celebrating. So for now, I want to share what I learned in Vlogmas, in Luke chapter 7. And I'm going to pick a lesson. So my first lesson came from chapter 7 verse 1 to 10, and this is Jesus, the faith of the Roman officer. What I loved about this is the fact that when you look at this officer for the Roman officer loved his slave so much, so that he was willing to talk to his friends, to go talk to Jesus, so that Jesus can come and heal this slave of his. The way he was concerned, the way he went about this, it was as if he was taking care of his own child. It was as if he was taking care of his own family member. And this is what I loved. You see, he did not treat it casually. This Roman officer, he did all his best for his slave. Now the highly valued slave of a Roman officer was near death. When the officer heard about this, he sent some respected Jewish leaders to ask him to come and heal his slave. He is called a highly valued slave. So this was not just an ordinary slave, it was a highly valued slave. And the lesson I'm getting here is from this slave. One, the Bible calls him a highly valued slave, to mean that he was diligent. You know, he was diligent in all that he did. He was excellent. He gave his best even as he served his master. And even when you look at the action that the Roman officer took, we can see that he had a genuine concern for his slave. Therefore, we can say this slave had a very good rapport with his master, such that the master took this effort. He gave himself. He went beyond himself to look for Jesus to come and heal him. On the same breath, when you look at the Roman officer, you see a similarity in his character and even in the character of his slave. Because here we say that, so they earnestly, who are these? So this is verse 4. So they earnestly begged Jesus to come with them and help the man. Who is this? These are the Jewish leader. Kumbuka, the Roman officer has sent the Jewish leaders. And these Jewish leaders, they have gone and they have begged Jesus earnestly to come and help the man. This also shows that this Roman officer had a very good rapport with the Jewish leaders. In fact, in verse 5 he says, for he loves the Jews and even built a synagogue for us. So both on the Roman officer and his slave, they both had a good rapport with the next person. For the slave, he had a good rapport with his master, that is the Roman officer. For the Roman officer, he had a very good rapport with the Jewish leaders, who were even willing to go and talk to Jesus. So here my lesson is that our good deeds can advocate for us. Our good deeds and our character and our behavior and our personality, it can advocate for us. It can open doors where they're not supposed to be doors. It can soften the heart of somebody to even help us out. So in our workplaces, preaching to myself, even in our workplaces, in our neighborhoods, how do we live with other people? Do we live in such a way that our lifestyle, our behavior, our character, it can even motivate them, it can advocate for them to reach out and even help us? So this is the lesson I'm learning here, that our good character and our behavior, in most cases, it can advocate for us for somebody to even help us. So we should be careful on how we treat other people. We should be careful on how we conduct ourselves in our workplaces. Let us give our best in our workplaces, in our businesses, in our interactions with other people, such that our good deeds can advocate for us, even in places that we don't even know that our good deeds are advocating for us. That was the first lesson. Then last lesson I'm going to share, it's verse 11 to 17, and this is where Jesus raises a widow's son. And what I love in this place, it is that Jesus, he was moved out of compassion, and therefore he raised the widow's son. You know, the widow did not ask Jesus for anything. If you read those verses, you'll find that the widow did not ask Jesus for anything. But verse 13 says, when the Lord saw her, his heart overflowed with compassion. His heart overflowed with compassion, and he answered a prayer that the widow had that she had not communicated. So two things: God is very compassionate towards us. That is one. And then two, linked to the same nani. And God normally even answers prayers that we sometimes don't even ask for. In this case, the widow did not ask for Jesus to raise his son, but out of the overflowing of his compassion, Jesus answered a prayer that the widow did not have. We also see this in Zechariah and Elizabeth in the birth of John the Baptist. When Zechariah had gone to fulfill his duty, we are not told he went there and prayed for a son. Yet God met him and answered a prayer that he had, although he had not even said. And I also think, is it with Elijah and the widow of Zarephath, where the Elijah asked the widow, what do you want? And the widow was like, I want nothing. And then the servant of Elijah said, they don't have a child. And then Elijah prayed for them, and then they had a child. And then they had a child. Even this couple at this time, they did not ask for anything. Yes, they did want a child, but and it had stayed so long that they even forgotten that. But God remembered that prayer. So I'm learning that sometimes God knows our prayers, even the ones perhaps we are not consciously aware of, or we had forgotten about them, or we have, but you're like, this one God cannot answer. God is very much able to answer even the prayers that you don't ask. And my prayer for me and for you today is that may God search our hearts and see the prayers that we have, our honest, deepest prayers that we have, that either we are not aware of consciously, or we have prayed for, but it has taken too long, we have even forgotten about them. May God search our hearts and answer those prayers that we are yet to ask, or are deep within us, but we have not asked for one reason or another. Because God does answer prayers that are deep within us, even though we don't even say them with our own mouth. Because Jesus was compassionate enough to raise this widow's son, although she did not ask it. And I am encouraged today to know that my God is very compassionate. He is caring. He cares for our struggles and suffering. May this encourage you and encourage me. So yes, that's it for Vlogmas Day 7. See you.